And we are live, I think. Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to the usual Sunday stream. I hope everyone is doing okay. And welcome back to the Lagoon Park. No aliens today, thank God. Just the niceties of building, and you are late only by a few seconds, Cannon Fodder. Don't forget, if you are watching this after the fact, to please subscribe. Sarcastically, hello, welcome to the stream. More the pity that you don't get to shout at me, to watch me shouting at aliens. Maybe that'll be next week, we'll see. I am doing okay, Cannon Fodder, and those of you with eagle eyes will notice that the park has changed a little bit. We now have safety hazard fencing, thanks to Kyodenic's new fencing mod. We've been able to improve some of the enclosures. I've been doing some design work off screen. And I guessed Cannon Fodder, don't worry. And yes, we are today focusing on building this area of the park, where we're going to house some LIOPLEURODONs. So hopefully we'll get this whole area done today. And we're going to have a multi-level enclosure. It does work. I did a YouTube video on it. So we've already got the main parts already installed. And how are we spelling that today? Yes, Evo seems to find every single one of my spelling mistakes. Every time. It was most embarrassing. But yeah, we're going to get started with the LIOPLEURODONs today and designing their surrounding enclosure. The LIOPLEURODONs themselves we'll put in there in a sec. But for now, we'll get started building. I have also installed Kyodenic's new lagoons and new aviaries. So you can see we got terrain editable lagoons now, and we now have a couple of new types of aviary. I'll just build this one quickly. So you can see that they're totally open plan, which is interesting. So maybe we'll do something in the area over here, which is going to become a garden. So what I've done is I've gone around and decided where I'm going to put everything. So we're going to have a big garden area here. We're going to have this area over here as just empty and wild space. I did Phoenix, but it's not as easy as I thought it was. We're going to have the Mosasaur, Elasmosaur, and Tylosaurus over here. And yes, we've got a nice little piece of path art here, which I've turned the that central mound that normally we can't use into a bit of LIOPLEURODON path art. That's LIOPLEURODON with an EUR, as I must remember. So let's get going down here. So I think we're going to need some guest areas down here. So let's put in something. I'm tempted to actually have a hotel perhaps overlooking this, because it seems like quite a nice place to maybe have one. Maybe overlooking the beach? Maybe? Maybe. I must remember. I will. It will be drilled into me by the time I'm finished with this park, probably. So let's see how we would do the amenities here. Let's do one of my characteristic favorite hexagons. Not hexagons, octagons. 1 and 2. And if any of you do not know how to do this, this is basically what you do. paths will snap to the correct angles to get it correct. That one is not choosing snap. That one has. That one has. And hopefully that one has. There we go. So we now have our framework, and then you can just put the bits of fencing, bits of paving, sorry. And there you go. One octagon. Ew. Excellent. Path will snap. Path proceeds not to snap just because. Yep. It's just trying to make me look bad, isn't it? And I think we'll go with medium amenities down here, actually, rather than small ones. Since I want this one to be quite a substantial guest area. I think we'll have... what, one? I think we'll have them on the outside. I'd quite like to use the inside as another garden, I think. So if we do one medium and then next door one small. Yep. And then same again on this side. One medium. And actually, maybe it makes sense to have the medium on the other side. And have the two smalls together, actually. I really must remember that the move tool is actually there. I keep forgetting it actually exists in this game. My first rest course is always straight to the delete button, and it's like, I don't need to use the delete button, do I? Hello, Comet. Welcome to the stream. I didn't think you were going to be able to pop in. Yeah, we'll use this central bit for a garden. And again, Kyodenic has given us some nice new path types, which I'm going to try and use in this stream for this particular area. Ah, righto, Comet. Well, you popping in is appreciated regardless of how long you're here for. I hope you're having a good day. By the way, if I do suddenly disappear and the stream ends abruptly, it's probably because I've had a power cut. We have the third storm in as many days hitting the UK today. So there may be some interruption to services. Now, Kyodenic has given us this lovely log-lined path. And he's also given us this really quite nice light lined path. But I think I'm going to use the logs. And I think I'm going to have the path start in the middle here. No, okay, maybe let's have... Let's have it start... there, maybe? Yeah, it's not too bad. What does it look like from here? Let's have it start over here. And let's have it just gently curve around to this amenity block over here. and you can't really do filling in with this type of path. It is literally just a walking path, but it is a nice one, and it does work. It does work well, especially if you're doing parks in woodlands and such. There you go, I like that. And then we will stick in the planting and everything. A later date. Actually, let's get rid of these side paths. I don't like them after all. It is Storm Francis today. Right, the LIOPLEURODONs themselves are ready to go. So let's go and get them released via airlift, and we're going to drop them in. While they're on the way, we will continue with this. I think we're going to go for a bit of water down here. No, Eunice is gone now. Eunice, however, has done the more damage and killed people as well. The highest wind speed recorded 122 miles an hour on the Isle of Wight, which is extraordinary for this country. There you go, that's nice. There, nice. Not enough people take time when they're making enclosures to just spend some time doing landscaping work. And if you have not already watched the wonderful video that Lima edited for me about improving your enclosures, then I do suggest you go and give it a shot, where I go over some tips and tricks for improving, I think anyway, improving the look of your perhaps barren and miserable enclosures. And I've even caught Lima, having edited the video in a wonderful manner, doing some of them himself, so it seems they've stuck. There you go, just a little bit of a rock feature here. There we are. Thank you, Comet. Building on floodplains is just so stupid. It really is, sarcastically. It's even more stupid buying a house on one. I have no sympathy for people who buy houses on floodplains. Now, I am going to outline the garden area in some of Kyadenic's new wonderful path. Now, I use quite a lot of his log-lined path. But he has added quite a few new ones. Let's go through the ones he has added. So there are two rather lovely chain link fences, small and medium height. There's this very nice handrail fence. The handrail can be on either side, and I've been using this one in other parks for putting around smaller dinosaur enclosures. You've got this kind of bit more stiffer steel pile fence. You've got this lovely log fence, which I think is probably my favourite one. Then we have a version of the low fencing. Then we have the version of the low fence that some people might recognize from the Jurassic World Evolution 1 mod. We have this, what I would consider a traditional fence, which you might have around staff areas. We have this low concrete fence, which is a bit too tall really to work as something to put around guest area, because guests don't actually come up that high to that fence, but it has a nice effect. And then we have this wonderful Jurassic Park Operation Genesis fence, which brings back some nice nostalgic memories. And then there are 3 types of invisible fence and 3 types of guest gateway. And the gates do actually work. I have used them in other parks, so you can now have guest gates all over. So, Kaedenik, if you are watching this, I doubt you are, but if you do pop in at any point, lovely fences. Definitely, you are the king of Jurassic World Evolution 1 modding currently. So let's outline this walkway with some of this log-lined fence. Just to stop people walking into the gardens. There we go. Like thus. Oh, we've already got someone using the path. Nice. A frontier could never. Yeah. Let's hope that the inevitable Dominion DLC that we get does add some decent content. Personally, I'm not 100% convinced it will, but I have been surprised before. Wonderful. I might replace the log-lined path actually with... Let's go for the light-up path. Actually, I think the light-up one just makes more sense. We've already got logs in there, haven't we? I think the LIOPLEURODONs are in here now. Yes, there they are. Phasing through the fencing. Our irradiated skinned ones. This is something you just have to put up with if you want to do an enclosure like this with the double layering, but it does work. They will move from one area to another. And I just think it adds a little bit of interest to the enclosures. Here they both go. So they're leaving this one. They will phase through the wall, admittedly. Actually, he's not. He's decided not to drop down there. But this one has. Here he is. He's hiding amongst the rocks. Come on, poke your head out. Nope, nope, they're too shy. They want to stay at the top area, clearly. They just want to stay in the top, it seems. I don't like the Lio skins, looks like algae. Ooh. Yeah, I suppose so. Phoenix, it would be lovely to have the Cretaceous cruise, and I do agree sarcastically. I think we won't get much in decent actual like story content or anything. We'll just probably get all the dinosaurs and that'll be that. And there he is. There he is. There's our second LIOPLEURODON. So proof that they can go from one enclosure to the other. I might get rid of that stone there, because that one was just a bit low. There's our next LIOPLEURODONs. I went for a redder skin on these ones. Where are we? Yeah, the a sort of tiger stripe red skin. Just for a bit of differentiation. It does look like he's got a sort of infection. I do call it my Fallout skins because I just think that it makes it look like they've become irradiated and they're some sort of mutant And given the design, I think that makes more sense. I feel like wanting to add a different type of rock in here. Since this is garden, I'm just going to outline the rest of it. And in the next video I intend to do next week, I'm going to go into how to zone your park and particular types of elements that you can add to your park just to improve how you design them and how you lay them out and where to go, because I have had a few people ask me sort of how do I start even building parks, so that's going to be the next video. But you can see here, if I go over to this side, what I'm done here, this is just something you can do for a bit of gap fill, is to just make one of these garden areas. It's easier obviously to do with mods, but without mods you can still do something like this. Just outline an area with fencing or decorated flower pots, stick a path running through it, put some landscaping in, and just make it a nice garden area. And it helps break up your buildings, and it helps break up your area, and add some vegetation there. But starting is one of the most difficult things. Sarcastically, I agree. So hopefully my video will help people get some ideas. So we're going to go back to this wonderful trees mod that again Kyodenic is responsible for, and start putting in some planting. Now in regards to this tree mod, I always tend to start with putting the actual trees in. It's the first layer of vegetation I start with, because I know some people, you give them 607 trees, and it's like, what on earth do I put in? So I always try and start with the actual trees I'm putting in the park first. We want to vary some of these. And we want to stick to ones that are reasonable size. Layer a few other types of tree in. There we go. It's nice. Maybe have... maybe just a few palms at this end. Yeah, that looks okay. Like starting to design a themed park, yes. I've always thought the best parks are the ones that have started out with a basic theme. So, I mean, this one is... The Kronosaurus have eaten all the sharks again. God, they devour these things like they grow on trees. Yes, I've always thought the best parks are ones that have a particular theme that you have in mind from the very beginning. So in this case, a lagoon park. So I would suggest always try to come up with some sort of idea for your theme from the start. Sugar maples have become some of my favourite trees, just thanks to their bright orange colour. I adore it. Just helps break up the monotonous green vegetation, I think. Just put a few smaller ones around. And one of these. No, mango tree. Brazil nut tree. Brazil nuts as well, I think are a decent tree to put in desert areas. Not too many of them. But it makes sense that a park would have staff who would be watering these and making sure they're growing fine. So you can stick a few big trees in a desert park and it'd be alright. And these Brazil nut trees, I just like the way they overhang. Yeah, that's nice. That's looking good. Imagine a raptor jumping and eating the flailing limbs. Okay, the chat's gone suddenly rather dark. I'm going to have a slurp of tea. Where are the other LIOPLEURODONs? Yep, LIOPLEURODON 5. Yep, you're all heading off into the rest of the enclosure, which is good. And the last few LIOPLEURODONs. So there's 7 in total. Where are you off to? Oh, you were trying to chase that fish. There we go. You know it wouldn't stop people riding it. No, sarcastically. No, that's a very good point. It probably wouldn't. I'm going to outline this path, actually, in a different sand colour, just so it's clear where it is. I like using the white sand to differentiate where the gardens are going, but obviously if people are walking, something a bit of a different colour just helps make it clear where it is. Now I think most of the rest we can do with the brushes. Might have to do some of the planting around the water edge manually, because it does tend to not give quite the effect I would like. Let's go for some of these low bushes here. And we're going to differentiate it with just a few more of the palm tree brush and the cactus brush. Actually, stick a few cactuses in. Some cycads just for some colour there. No, not those. Ah, that'll do. Yeah, that looks alright. Actually stick a few of those down here as well. And a few of those cycads. Yeah, that's looking better. Now I want to put some manual trees and bushes in. I'm waiting for a mod that allows all paints on one map. So Kyadenic actually explained that one of the problems is that there's only a certain number of textures that you can have, and that's the problem basically. If you have too many, the game won't work. So it's probably unlikely we're going to be able to have every single paint on the map, simply because of the limitations on how many textures you're allowed. Dutchman's pipe, calamites, Cape aloes. Yeah, just a few bigger Cape aloes there. And let's place this Psyker down here. There we are. Ooh, ginkgos. Alpine flowers. Looking for the elephant grass. Shrubs. Temperate featherheads, brownheads, meadow, shrub. Elephant grass, there we are. Excellent. That's what we want down here. This was literally all I did on Prehistoric Kingdom as well to improve my water areas. Just put down horsetails and elephant grass. It's all you need to do. Where was the horsetails? Are they on under this? So one of the biggest problems with this tree mod is actually going through and finding out where the particular types of flower and bush are that you're actually looking for. Tiger white flowers, meadow flowers, alpine bushes. Okay, so it wasn't there. Alpine shrubs, alpine meadow, shrub, alpine, tiger, featherheads, meadow. Oh, it might be under paleo actually. Oh, there it is, horsetail. There we go. Few shorter patches. There. One fairly acceptable sort of garden, I think. Sorry. I will try to keep a close eye on the chat. I got distracted there, designing my landscaping. Oh, we should probably put some flowers and something under this one as well, shouldn't we? Because it's a bit sparse down there. A few aloe veras. Cycads, a few aloes. Let's put in some purple flowers, pink flower, red flowers. There we go. And elephant grass, naturally. There. Sorted. Simple as that. Now, I don't like all these having the same design. Phoenix, I was about to say, I don't think you've sent that to the wrong place. Right place, sorry. So panels, concrete with stairs. Let's have... Let's have that one. Let's have that positioned on the right. We'll have the upstairs seating area, and we'll have the outside planters. Now we'll have the outside canopy. No, we'll have the small planters. And we'll make it a sushi restaurant.
Sushi?
And then this side... See, if I got that a bit closer, they would phase into each other and be on the same level. You can actually do that with the medium-sized. Go for the small panel, have it on that side. Now have it in the left. Seating with plants, parapets, metallic triangles. Go with the metallic columns for this one. Have the planters. And we'll make this one a soda shop, even though technically it's a food shop. There, nice. A sushi restaurant in a lagoon park, nice. Well, we're not saying where all the dead LIOPLEURODONs are going. Well, that's an understated but kind of nice golden skin. Right. So these two are going to be gardens as well. So let's just outline those in our log fence. Ooh. No. Oh, it snaps like a hungry shark. Just no. No. Fine. Sometimes you just have to let it snap and then delete it afterwards. There you go. Righto, cannon fodder. That in there. That down there, can I? That's gonna annoy me. Let's actually just put a... Whoops, wrong one. Let's put one across there. Why are you not straight? Just put a... Just a little seating area here. That solves the problem. space begging for a rock or something. Oh, we could put a rock in there, perhaps. Gonna do the same down here. So this is going to be vegetation as well. There we go. So we've got one viewing gallery, as it were, for this end. There he goes. And we have our galleries and such at this end. Now I'm tempted to actually kind of leave most of the rest of this section untouched. I want to kind of wild more of this. But I might... I'm still unsure whether I want to put the hotels here or not. Maybe we could do something like this. Have the have a hotel hanging over the edge. It's a bit dangerous since they are LIOPLEURODON, but it would be something unique for the LIOPLEURODONs to have. So yeah, the only annoying thing is that it's not quite on the same angle as the rest, but I can deal with that. I wish we could change the colour of the parasols with the tables. Yeah, I wish there was more that we could do design-wise in general. Like, I'd like to be able to design the hotels. Just have like we have with the amenity buildings. Give us some options with the hotels. They came up with a really good system. That amenity system. But they've literally only applied it to the amenity buildings. And it's like, why not just apply that to all the buildings? We could have so much variation. But again, I suppose, is Blender free? I think so, Phoenix. I'm not sure. I'm going to put, not handrail, steel wire fence. Just around this. Ooh. Just around this little area here. Just going to make it another seating zone. I actually put a few flower beds in, actually. And we'll stick one in there as well. There we are, nice. This will probably rockery in, I would think. Maybe just try to stick a few ginkgos or something like that in here. Same with this gap here. So these gaps are perfect for just little decorative touches. So we'll just, what we'll do is we'll grab a few rocks, we'll just stick a Couple in. Obviously, it's much easier to do this with the free build mod than it is with the base game. But if your gap is big enough, you can still do stuff like this. You don't need mods to do things like this. Few other types of tree. We've got a bit of a gap there, just to stick a few of those in. Like that. I'm actually going to continue the flower bed here onwards. Same for the one over here. And we'll just put a little lighting feature in there. And we'll stick a few of the flowers in again, just to fill in some space, add a little gap fill. Make things just a little more decorative. And just like that, it looks less empty, it looks more natural. Yeah, just like that. Radiating light would be a great thing in this game, it's just pretty colours at the moment. That's true, Sarcastic. It would be nice for us to have some proper lighting that we can use, especially in the lagoons. Oh, we are completely out of food in this particular enclosure. I wish bottomless feeders become a thing as quickly as possible, because I am frankly sick to death of having to go around and doing this. I want my dinosaurs to eat, because it's one of the few behaviours they do actually have. Oh god, we're out of sharks again. The Kronosaurus do actually eat fish. They don't have to have the shark feeders, but I suppose the shark feeders are the most impressive. Scatter a few differently sized rocks around. Wonderful. I'm going to put some sugar mangoes in this area, so we have some different colours. Not too many. Number 3 tree is just a bit big for my liking. Have a couple of saplings as well. Actually, have we got a... I do like the colour of these oaks. Just wish it had a slightly different shape. Elms, sycamore... Yeah, no. Right. Back to the tropical plants. good. We'll have a few of these on their own. With maybe a couple of those nearby. There is one that's crooked. There it is. Just wanted that one. Have a few of those growing around here. Now, for this, no worries, sarcastically. More spectacular jumping for sharks, which sounds like a 90s grunge band. It's a bit wordy for a band name, isn't it? More spectacular jumping for sharks sounds. It's definitely like a 90s grunge band. Or some sort of heavy metal screamo band. I'll have to suggest it to my buddy who is in quite a heavy metal screamo band, although he'd probably tell me off for calling it that. Yeah, so we're gonna put line the edge of this hotel with whoops, oh god, with the stone things here. I know this is supposed to be a wheelchair accessible ramp, but I think we'll just cover that up. Because I don't think wheelchair users are going to want to have a mad dash between the LIOPLEURODON jaws. What we are going to do is just put a few trees inside of these planters. So this is something else you can do with the tree mod. Even with these planters, you can add your own. You can kind of design your own planters. The rock ones, I think, are probably the easiest ones to do this with, simply because they've got more gaps. Just stick a few of the trees and the plants sort of where you have those gaps. And it just... you basically have your own planters as a result. Stick a few flowers in. Because not everything has to be green. And maybe a few of these big red flowers. There we go. It's not perfect, obviously, but it helps. It's a shame we don't have any sort of mangrove trees or anything like that, because I'd love to put some of those in. I looked away for like 5 minutes, says Phoenix. Yeah, I'm a quick builder. We can put some of the standard bush brush in here. Don't need to do it manually, pretty much. We might have to do it manually in some places. Yeah. Gonna have to do it manually over there because it's apparently too thin and narrow to get stuff in. But the other areas have worked perfectly fine. 2. So there should be 1 and that 1. Okay. Okay, Phoenix. See you in a little bit. So that is our LIOPLEURODON area pretty much sorted. Like I said, I think I'm gonna rewild most of this area. And again, it's something I'm going to mention in the video that I'm working on, but it is also something I would suggest everyone do in their parks, is to just waste some space don't make everything path and fencing. Do some landscape work. It really does help. It's not tricky. We should probably give this place down here some toilets. So again, we'll give them 2 toilets joined together. Like that. It definitely more important if you don't use mods, that's for sure. Because otherwise you're just going to end up with massive amounts of fencing everywhere. Okay, fill those gaps in. And just give the back of these buildings some fencing as well. Not fencing, paving. Like that. And same over here. And then if we just outline this in fence again, log lined naturally. Ooh. Get rid of this one in the... Ooh. There you go. And do the same lining on this side. Oh, you got another little gap here that we can fill in with some rockery, I think. It is coming along. Looking good. Just a single large rock art. do the rest of the decoration there later. So there we go. It's our LIOPLEURODON, at least the main LIOPLEURODON area, pretty much finished up here. Going to just change. Actually, we'll go with this color. There we go. Nice. Now then, this end we need to think about the monorail and where we're going to have the monorail go, because we've got a mosasaur enclosure to put in up here. We've got the elasmosaurs and the tylosaurus to put in, and that's going to take some design work. Now I want to turn this into one big garden area down here. So monorail. Do I have it go over? See, I don't like the hump it creates, but I'd quite like it to go over this little valley we have going on here. See, now in my last design for this park, it was just a straight monorail along this whole section. It was just one single long straight monorail, and it did look really good. The curved one, I'm not so much of a fan of. So I'm actually going to get rid of this. I want it to be a little straighter in sections. We can still have a design feature of that valley. I am tempted to actually take like a guest path into that little valley and just make something in there. Maybe a dinosaur enclosure of some sort. Let's see. Yeah, I prefer that, I think. Something a little straighter. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe having a path goes through here, maybe have a couple of other dinosaurs in here, I'm not sure. A roller coaster monorail. Not anymore, no. I think our Mosasaurus deserves more of a substantial monorail station. Ooh. There we are. Why is this going up? Oh, right, I haven't flattened this area of the park. Well, mostly because I haven't decided what level to have this area of the park at. So let's do that now. I want to try and leave this LIOPLEURODON sculpture area relatively as it is. I'm not going to mess around with too much else around it. It would be a real choke point. The actual design of them is pretty terrible as well. They're not disabled friendly because there's stairs. It doesn't look like there's any sort of lift. Hello, Crowny. Haven't seen you in a stream for a while. How are you doing? Monorail is not at the correct height. That's gonna infuriate me. There you go. Meh, I'm okay. I'm good to hear you're okay, even if you're a little meh at the moment. Let's put... I know Kai is working on a mod that will allow you to use the transport buildings as actual transport, which will be so good to have. Right. So the monorail will be just a simple line. I don't think we'll have more than one station. I think this will be the final station, and they can just walk to the other enclosures on this side of the park. The wilding we'll do here will divide off this side of the park, and the garden area will divide off this end of the park. Hello, Cannon. So, let's get going with the garden then, in that case. Now, although it's going to be a garden, I'm going to make it a bit dinosaur friendly as well. Thanks to the use of invisible fencing, we're going to have a few small plant-eating dinosaurs roaming free in the garden. So this whole area will be the garden, so we're going to need an entrance. So let's just... Ooh. There we go. So we're going to have I think we might have a few Go for a wider path here. There we go. We'll turn this into a seating area, I think, for guests. That mods came out so quickly to show Frontier what people want. Yeah. So what shall our entrance to the garden look like? What should the garden even have as path type? What I would love is a brick wall. Or a stone wall or a brick wall. That type of wall is just a bit too hefty. And we don't want invisible fence. Maybe the vertical bar fence makes sense. Actually, considering the dinosaurs we're gonna have roaming free in here. Obviously the end of that path will hide. Now, in terms of gateway, I think we'll go with something like this. There we are. So you do have to manually open the gates, but it does also mean you can manually shut them. If, say, dinosaurs have escaped and you're trying to re-round them all up. Whoop. Now, I suppose the other question is, how large do I have this garden? I want it to be quite a big one. Hello, Herman. Welcome to the stream. I'm just getting started constructing a large garden, having finished my multi-tier LIOPLEURODON. Oh, but actually, it's not finished, actually. I thought I'd forgotten to do something. I think we need to improve this rather bland looking area of rockery here. So let's stick in a few plants. Chunky coconut palm. That's better. Now that's less moss would be cool, definitely. But that's less noticeable now as just a rock wall, I think. Or at least looks a little more natural in there. I just love the fact that the LIOPLEURODON's just like hanging out in this upper pool more than the lower one. Just makes me laugh. It's like the anti-social zone from people. Now, where am I? I want the dinosaurs to roam free, but not all over the place. But we need to make it look natural, so... kind of want sort of not a square, but a central area. No, why did you do that? And we'll have it curve this way and go there. We'll have a route that kind of goes this way. And a route that kind of goes that way. So that's sort of generally how big I want it. The path is being a jerk, nothing out of the ordinary. Indeed. As water... let's see, I'm just going to stick water here. So it looks like there's a natural river. And we'll make it a lake, actually. Here. Nestled kind of in the base of this rock ridge. Actually, we'll just connect these two. 3. There you go, take some inspiration from the local environment. We've got a lake here, and that lake is going to be pretend connected to a river that's going to run through this garden. Connecting to the wild area that we're going to have up here, which is just literally just going to be just landscape. And then we'll probably have some water feature up on this hill, just to make it look like it's one continuous water source. Just get rid of some of the water, just so it's not so wide. I don't want it to be too much of a hefty sort of thing. Like a floppy bow tie. It does, I suppose. It does look like a floppy bow tie. Huh. Now, our wild dinosaurs. Where shall their I say enclosures, but we're going to use invisible fencing so it looks like they don't have enclosures. So I'll have one here. We'll have... one there. And we'll have one that connects onto the back of here. As well. So there'll be three patches of outside dinosaurs, as it were. Maybe a small one here as well. Just on the bank of this. There we go. Now, something else Kaidenix mod has also included is a viewing path. It is only in one path color and one path size, but it does mean that in theory guests can view dinosaurs around the path. He does warn not to overuse it because it can cause slowdown. But I think it's a nice touch. Okay. Now then, what dinosaurs shall we have in our garden? They've got to be obviously... this is going to be the other problem. They've obviously got to be fairly small. Well, they've got to be small herbivores, I think. So, something that you don't mind people being quite close to. Dryos, Minmies. Minmies? We'll have Minmies. Okay, so let's have Minmi. Dryos. Any others? Literally all of them. Hermalocephaly should be in here somewhere, I think. Hermalocephaly. And this is where Protoceratops would come in really well, but we don't have Protoceratops. Or Zalmoxes from Jurassic World Evolution 1's modding. What other ones could we actually have? See, the problem with the stegosaurs is that while there's a couple of small ones, they're not exactly guest friendly. And I think things like Nigeosaurus or Matabara are just too big. Pachycephalosaurus is too dangerous. The little Pachycephalosauri. They've shrank an Anki, haven't they? Which one? Crichtonsaurus. They're still a bit dangerous to have around guests. Stiggy, again, is too dangerous, I think. I don't know. Maybe the last enclosure will just have... We'll just mix all three together, so it looks like they have walked the Rex. Very funny. We can't have T-Rex wandering our guest area. Not unless you want to be shut down, of course, Mr. Hammond. This is... needs some rock. Add some more of the lightly coloured sand there. Add darker sand here. Right. Minmi, I think, could do some rocks just to give their enclosure a bit of pizzazz. Yep. I'm going to give them just a little bit of a dune as well. That's too much. That's better. Now there's an idea for an adult version of a petting zoo. Pet the T-Rex. I'm not entirely sure any of you would If I ever have a theme park, I'm never going to ask any of you to run for a job there. Good God. Pet the T-Rex. There we are. Brush time. Obviously, we'll put some manually placed plants in as well. But for the time being, we'll just stick to the brushes because they can actually work quite well. See, that worked well there. Few bushes. Like that. Let's go make some Mimi. Rich people are stupid as a breed. Oof. Right, Minmi. Compies totally wouldn't attack small people, not like they have form for it at all. Totally safe. I'm not sure Dieter would agree with you there, sarcastically. Let's go with red and blue. And go with let's go with a the green and black. He got what was coming to him. Oof. So we're going to have 8 min-minis. We'll have 4 in their actual enclosure. So 1, 2, and then we'll spread the other min-mis around. So let's have 1 in that one, and 1 in that one. I suppose I better get some water in this enclosure. And probably something for him to eat in other enclosures as well. I'm assuming they like this stuff. I hope so. There aren't that many small dinosaurs in the game. No, we could definitely do with some more. There are quite a few you could possibly have. Things like Protoceratops, for example, Thytacosaurus, Avaceratops, Othnielia Lieliasaura come immediately to mind. Oh god, how long does it take you guys? I want there to be some seating here. Ah, you can't speak, can you, doer? Not that you have anything ever interesting to say. There we go. Put in some fencing here so we can have a bit of a water feature or something. There we are though. There we have our min-mis. That's not a bad skin. It was supposed to be blue, and it is bluish, I suppose. Let's go grab the rest. 2 different types of helicopters showed up. Very odd. Right, so we'll have 1 there. We'll have 2 of this one in there. And another one in there. So we're scattering the dinosaurs around the park, so it looks like they've moved inside of this garden from one to the other. And time for the invisible wall. So there are 3 types of invisible wall. One has sort of like the little electrified bits sticking out. One is completely invisible, and then one is invisible marked, which means it will create dirt underneath it. We're just going to use the non-marked one. Minmies, they are an adorable animal, that's for sure. I mean, they're so cute. What do they eat? Ground fruit and ground nut. Oh. They need cycads. Okay. Cycads, and where ground nuts included? Ground nut seed plants. Okay. There you go. Better make sure these guys have some. Root and fiber. At least they'll survive until I... It's not going to ruin the aesthetics too much, because I can manually place down some feeding stuff as well. And at least they are tropical. See, this was supposed to be the black and the lime green. That one hasn't worked that well, that particular skin. Gonna change the color of the sand here. So this looks a little shallower. Sticking a few smaller rocks. Maybe one big one. Oops. Breaking news at 10, skin previews are nothing but balderdash. Exactly. It's a good word actually, balderdash. Let's put in some bushes. Maybe a few cacti. So this was going to be for Drasaurus, wasn't it? No, Drasaurus is over there. Oh, this one was just a mix enclosure, so... Let's do the Drasaurus next. You're trying to cut back on your swearing. I wish you luck. Let's go with a dark pattern and blue. And let's have white with The green. One, two, three, four. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, 8 Drasaurus. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll have a third in there, a third in there, and 2 others with the Homalocephali, I think. Just while we're waiting for that, just design the center here. And I think we're going to have a big Brazil nut tree. Or a big sugar nut tree. Let's see. I quite like it being a big Brazil nut tree, actually. Capocs look quite nice, though. And we'll stick in some flowers again. Tropical red flowers. Tropical red flowers there could work quite well down here. Bushes. What else have we got here? White flowers. Oh, where's my elephant grass? There we are. Gotta love that elephant grass. Put goats in it. Goat farm. My swearing is well ingrained at this point. Back in my teenage years, I worked with a splendid chap from Dundee who swore like a trooper at work because his wife told him off for it at home. I was expecting more of a story to that. I worked with a man from Dundee who swore like a trooper at work. And I was waiting for the rest of that particular humorous poem. Cycad. Cycad. Ooh, that Gingo was huge. Palm trees, no. Maybe that will actually do for a little rockery area. Minmi, Drasaurus. Let's have a look. Oh, that's how... That was the purple and blue colour scheme, apparently. And let's get the rest of them. Ken was a wonderful dude who he spoke fluent Spanish as well as fluent Scottish swearing. And elephant grass is our Lord and Saviour. 1, 2... And let's just stick 3 and 4 in there with the Homalocephalus. think they just eat fibre as well, so they'll be easier to look after. Ground leaf and ground fibre, yeah. Ground leaf and ground fibre, all from one type of brush. There we are. And obviously the areas outside of their fencing, we can do basically anything we like with. Kind of want to give this something that makes it look unique, but it's difficult to do because we don't have anything like pillars or anything like that. Kind of works. Maybe have a... I really want some new decorations. Or tunnels, or something. Oh, I think we have Drasaurus, the other Drasaurus types. That's not, I'm not sure I like that coloration, if I'm at all honest. I also think we need to change the... It looks diseased, or kind of looks naked, sarcastically. Oh, what are you up to, LIOPLEURODON? Just having a swim about? With your sandstone-like rocky texture? Where's the rest of your kind? Hanging out in the antisocial pool. No doubt. And that Lio, though, a masterpiece. Ah, it is simply, how did they say, beautiful. Sorry, I shall never do that again. Right. I've actually decided I'm going to change this down here and turn it into a seating area. It won't make the whole lot seating though. I'm going to have a bit in the middle, which we'll use for some trees. Probably same here as well. We'll have two little vegetation areas. Hello, Phoenix. Tempted to actually outline these ones with the flower pots, I think. Oh, someone just disappeared there. That's never gonna do. A curved planter would be great. Because there's some on the innovation center. So why can't they just give us that? Or there's one, where's my staff room? There it is. Like, why not give us this square planter here that's in the staff center? Chunky. And... what's in that exhibit you just looked... which one, Phoenix? Because there's quite a few exhibits here. Now where are those cacti? Quickly, big one where you showed something. Well, we've got LIOPLEURODON over here. We've got Kronosaurus in the middle, and we've got Minmi Drasaurus currently, and we're going to have Homalocephaly as well in this open walk-in exhibit. Ah, barrel cactus. That's what I was after. And the yucca plants. And lady ferns, no. Ferns, no. Need grass now. Aquatic eel grass. Maybe a few flowers, just to add some colour, actually. Hi. Alpine shrubs. Work quite well as a grass. Alpine meadow. Desert grass. The problem with the desert grass is it's just too sparse. Oop. Whereas something like this just works a lot better. Where was that creosote bush? Yeah, a few colourful ones. White flowers, white flowers. Hawaiian silver sword. Wow, that's a nice looking plant, but it's so small. Staghorn fern, calamites, Cape aloes. Yeah, we'll stick a few of those in. Cycads, small cycads, they can go in. Maybe a couple of big ones. Just to fill a bit of space. And a few taller bushes. There we go. Hamalies are definitely cute, for sure. They are the cutest, although the Amargasaurus and Nidosaurus are still very cute as well, I think. Yeah, I think that's alright. I think just to make this bridging area a little bit more obvious, maybe just a couple of skulls. Yeah. I like that. Give it some lighting. There we go. I think that looks pretty good as a guest area there. I'm just going to quickly save since we are coming up to the end of the stream, but I want to have a look and see what this looks like in the dark. There we go. This is, you can see here, the light up path there. It actually does create quite a bit of light, so it actually quite works in this garden. Like the colour scheme I've got going on, these buildings obviously need to have be finished like they are over here. And this looks pretty good, I think. And our garden area is obviously on the go. We'll have to finish this off, or I'll have to finish the garden area off perhaps off stream. Yeah, it looks good, our little LIOPLEURODON zone. So, I'm going to pause it here, folks, since it's 8 o'clock. And I've been going for 2 hours, but thank you everyone who has joined us with the stream today. If you're watching after the fact, please don't forget to subscribe for more Jurassic World Evolution content from me at Triclaw Gaming and from the rest of us. Dane can now actually do videos thanks to his new graphics card, so there will be more videos from Dane as well. And I'm sure Vice will have a few new videos up as well shortly. So goodbye everyone, have a good evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.